So let's talk Marvel Heroes 2015. This is a game I played previously, but I thought I'd review it because I had a lot of fun with this game at the time. Even though I have some reservations with this game, which I'll go through. Fantastic game. So, to me, the best way to describe this game is as a Diablo clone, because it is a Diablo clone. In a lot of ways it has similarities. Instead of Amiga points, you have the Amiga system, which is a range of different talents and abilities in more of a passive sense. Then you have a hero synergy system, which is unique. This is unique. This you can depend, as long as your character's over level 50, you can get a passive ability from that character by simply activating it when that character is the right level. And then another similarity are the powers themselves. In order to gain access to certain abilities, you need to be a certain level, and then once you are that level, to access that, you can choose up to 20 points in that one specific skill point. You can see, I mean, it's a combination of 1s and 20s to get the best results for what I need for this build. And then you get an ultimate ability, which I'll show you later. So I mean, you go from area to area completing objectives and quests. This is not an actual quest, but this you would be in the same area to do similar stuff, just with added objectives in the quest lines. I mean, I just chose a terminal just to be quick. My last video was way too long. I just want to do a quick review. So yeah, you can see like standardized enemies running at you with strengths and abilities, and you have to use the right sets of abilities, or the ability. You use a series of abilities and powers in order to overcome them, eventually leading to a boss. Okay, on my way to the boss, let me talk about some other things in this game. I mean, there is raid content. It's 10 man. I think the lockout's about a week. I've done it on green level, which would be considered easy mode. It was okay. It wasn't the tactics and the different class of heroes wasn't really that much of an issue. I mean, there was just a basic strat that the entire group has to do in order not to die and to kill the bosses effectively. Not anything too hugely complicated, to be fair. It's pretty straightforward standard stuff. You would do the raids for currency and for loot, pretty much. Again, very much a kind of standard RPG sort of setup scenario. One thing I don't like: no PvP. No PvP. How am I meant to know that my Ghost Rider is badass and can take any other Ghost Rider I come across? That, for me, I wouldn't call myself a fully competitive gamer, but as a slightly competitive gamer, it's something I wish they would do. My theory is they haven't done it for balancing issues, because in this game as well, some heroes are just vastly stronger than others. As much as he's fun to play, his abilities are pretty cool, like Loki, for example. I've tried a couple of different builds, I just don't feel like he does the damage he should do. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. I mean, surely he should be stronger than what he is. This, by the way, is a sub-boss to a bigger boss that I'll find later, but oh wow, I might just die. I think I'm standing in fire. I mean, even these bosses, even though they do a lot of damage, and they do some attacks that are unique to their character, there's no real tactics involved. It's pretty much avoid the things that fly at you, and well, for me, it's kind of survive. If my first stare doesn't kill them, wait 30 to 40 seconds for the next one to kill them. So, I mean, this would be the equivalent of a dungeon or an instance in other RPGs, and there aren't any real strategies to speak of. It's pretty much plays, as long as you can play your character against enemies that do enough damage to kill you and survive, the same kind of basic rule apply. So I mean, nothing big in terms of learning strategies and tactics in order to beat enemies. What's next? There are a variety of challenge modes, all honestly quite generic to each other. If I'm being honest, pretty much it's waves of enemies that get more and more difficult as time goes on, and the trick is to survive them for as long as possible. This is the main boss, by the way, and this is my ultimate ability. I am playing on a dungeon that is easier, considerably easier. I should be doing this on Cosmic, but okay. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetrack about my personal life, which, let's be honest, none of you want to hear. You want to hear about the game, right? Right. Okay, so the hero selection, if you're willing to put in the money, is fantastic. I mean, almost any Marvel hero you can think of, you can play and level and get gear with and stuff. Each has a different play style. Some are pretty close in terms of game style. Like even Hulk would be very similar and to Juggernaut in the Thing, but I mean they're all big guys that just muscle their way through things, so in a way it makes sense. All the characters I have here, besides my Thing, are random. So basically, in order to random, you need to save 175 splinters, eternal splinters, and you exchange that for a random hero or an ultimate upgrade. So I mean, my ultimate is level 1, because instead of getting a random hero, I got an upgrade, and that's not what I want. If anything, I wanted more random heroes. All the heroes that you see here that are level 1, you couldn't actually play them before. You had to choose one, which was shocking, terrible. Yeah, if anything, just charge us for the costumes and let us pick, instead of giving me an option of 10 heroes, which I wouldn't necessarily pick, why not make them all free to play and pick, and then just charge us for ultimate upgrades and costumes rather? Because I mean, even I mean, instead of this Thing, I probably would have played Hulk, and I would definitely have an Iron Man and a Magneto, and I'd probably be playing it more. The truth is, I got bored of the content, even making footage tonight. It's sad, but I was creating footage and I was bored. I mean, nothing has changed in the last 3 months that I haven't played this game. You know, it's a bit disappointing. And I mean, even to get Ghost Rider, my favorite character, which I would have made my second pick, I had to go through 4 characters I didn't necessarily want to play. But in saying that, I had a lot of fun with this game, and if you're into Marvel and RPGs, I would definitely give it a go. I see what they do. They let you play to level 10, and then you're going to have to pay to uncap it. You see. And I wouldn't even, this is 400 splinters. That's approximately a week, just over a week of playing almost every single day for a couple of hours a day to get that. No, would not do it for him. So they give you instead of actually giving you access to that hero, they'll let you play them to level 10, so you get a taste. And once you have a taste, then they want you to spend the money, which I don't like. Really don't like. This guy, if you're gonna make an RPG, you should make, in my opinion, it should be an open book. You should be able to make as many different classes and characters as possible, so you get to experience the game from all angles. That's the way I play. I mean, if you want, I'll show you guys my Diablo. I've got all the different classes maxed to their cap. I probably will do a bit of a review and update, because Diablo is freaking awesome, let's be honest. Yeah. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave one in the video. Thanks, and good night, guys. Now, also, another big issue I found, I don't know if you guys have realized throughout this video, is that latency is a bit of an issue. There's some big latency spikes, and this often happens when there's a lot of other players around you. So on challenges like Midtown Patrol, when it comes to looting stuff after the bosses have died, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. Many of us have just been logged out straight up during loot time, so that's also something I didn't like.